All right, good morning, folks. Friday morning and last class of this week. Cool. Let's set ourselves up for the weekend with a stretchy, restorative kind of class. So we're going to go through a bunch of movements and hopefully come out of this feeling relaxed, detensioned, loosened up with any achiness, and just ready and set for the weekend. All right, so we're going to start standing on our mat, standing position, settling the shoulders, and just allowing the breath to relax. So get that deep breathing going, breathing all the way in and all the way out. We're going to start out with the top half of the sun salutation in a moment. All right, so taking these movements slowly without needing to time them with the breath to begin with, but just allowing the arms to reach up and holding that reach for a few moments. Feel that gentle lengthening through the body. And from that reach position, wide circling of the arms, allowing yourself to fold forwards from the waist and for the arms to hang down as the fingertips reach down towards the toes. Not forcing a stretch, but just allowing that weight to come out of the spine, to unweight the neck, to allow the head to hang, as if that top part of the body is just hanging forwards like a rag doll. Now the legs are still long, the hips are still high. From there, can we come halfway up as if that upper body has been slightly energized? The spine lengthens, the back flattens, as if that rag doll just perks up a little bit. There. But from there, then refold, as if we just rehang back down. Taking that tension out of the body. Legs stay long, hips stay high, feet stay grounded. And then imagine that vertebrae rebuilding one by one as we roll all the way back up and the arms make their way up to that reach position before circling right back around, back to the sides. And perhaps they're just shrugging the shoulders out, just getting rid of any extra tension that we might be holding before settling down. All right, again, but this time we'll time this with our breath. So big breath in, big breath out. And then inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, circle round, fold down to the toes. Inhale, bring it halfway up. Exhale, refold from the waist. And then rebuilding on the inhale all the way up high, reaching up and circling around on the exhale. All right, let's do that again. So inhale, reach high. Exhale, circle round, fold down to the toes. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rebuild. And exhale, circle around. Right, again, a little bit brisker. So breathe in, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, circle around. All right, once more. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, around. All right, we're going to just go through those first movements. So reaching up, don't worry about the breath now. Just refine that reach up. And then circle those arms, fold down back towards the toes. Feel that unweightedness through the length of the spine. Bring that halfway up. Feel that energy of readiness. All right, and then taking this down to the floor, we can bring our hands down to the floor. We can step this back and lower the whole body down to the floor and onto the forearms, allowing the hips to come down and the chest to shine forwards into that gentle back extension Sphinx pose. So elbows below shoulders. Gently into that back extension. Nice. Okay, from here, allowing the hips to lift up, the hands to find the floor, the toes to tuck, and hips up, downward facing dog. There. Lengthening through the torso. So from downward dog, can we take it into high plank? There's high plank. And from there we could pop the knees back down, back to the forearms, and up into that Sphinx pose, or we could lower everything down and then push and shine forwards into an upward facing dog or a cobra stretch. Lift the hips back up, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Alright, do that for me once more, back to high plank. Take it all down to the floor. And then send it forwards and shine it forwards into that back extension. And lift the hips, tuck the toes, and extend into downward facing dog. Just realise as I do that kind of cobra stretch there, my head is just peeking up above the window ledge, as if I'm peeking around, like people watching around the crescent outside. That's okay. Just get some weird looks. All right, from downward facing dog, step, walk forwards towards the hands, into that halfway lift. It's that halfway lifted position. Refold back to the toes, rebuild all the way up high, and circle round. Right, all of that together. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, circle round, down to the toes. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands on the floor, take it all the way down. Inhale into your back extension. Exhale into downward facing dog. Hold this here for a couple of breaths. Breathe length into those limbs. Breathe release through that torso. Next in breath, step forwards towards the hands and into that halfway lift. Exhale down to the toes. Inhale all the way up high. Then exhale, circle round. Right, last time and we'll finish in downward dog. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, circle down towards the toes. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands on the floor, take it all the way down before inhaling into your back extension. Peeking out of the window, lift the hips up into downward facing dog and hold here for a moment. Excellent, good. All right, from here we're going to take the left foot and step forwards, left foot forwards into a long lunge. Right knee goes down on the floor, reach both arms up, reach. There, into that kneeling lunge. Okay, good. From here, we're going to tuck the toes on that right foot. Now you can transition up to a standing lunge any way you like. What I'm going to do is circle the arms around and use that momentum to push up into a standing lunge. All right, got it? So circle the arms around, use that momentum, push up into a lunge. Bring the arms wide now and settle down into that lunge. I'm just going to warm up these leg muscles down and up in that lunge. Slow movements or slower movements than normal. Feeling how you can fully extend that back leg and then re-bend that knee as we drop down towards the floor. Lifting up and down in this long lunge position. Yeah. Good. Take it all the way up. Re-lift the arms. There. And then remembering that long lunge position with the hands on the floor, we can circle the arms around, the hands can find the floor, and we're in the long runner's lunge. Yeah, good. All right, back knee goes down on the floor. Lift up into hip flexor stretch, both arms up. Good. All right, repeating that movement. We took the toes on the back foot, circle the arms around, send it high. Arms come to the horizontal, small movements down and up. So same side as you did before, down and up with that lunge. Doesn't need to be too deep. Just bringing some movement through the legs, an extra stretch through that back leg. There, hold it up high. Arms come high, remembering that long lunge position, circle the arms, hands find the floor, back to long runner's lunge. All right, let's bring some rotation into here. Back knee goes down onto the floor, soften the foot, open out through that left arm, gently into that first rotation. Good. All right, bring that hand back down to the floor, tuck the toes on the back foot, step back into high plank position. High plank. Lift the hips up into downward facing dog. All right, right foot now steps forwards. Back knee goes down, lift up, both arms up high, hip flexor stretch, so we should have switched sides now. There. Good, so as we go through this transition again into standing lunge, just making sure that we're moving in a way that's kind to the body. So finding a different way of getting to your feet if you prefer. So this is warming up those leg muscles, bringing length to those working muscles in a way that's kind and helpful. So tuck the toes on the back foot, setting up for this lift. So we circle all the arms around, use that momentum, lift up into a high lunge. Arms come to the horizontal, shoulders settle, down and up in that lunge. Again, feeling that lengthening through that back leg, that groundedness through the feet. There, hold it high, arms come up, long runner's lunge, circle the arms around, find the floor, long runner's lunge here, opening through that back leg. The knee comes down, arms go up, hip flexor stretch, open through the front of the hip. Good, tuck the toes, circle the arms, lift up, arms to the horizontal, down and up with that lunge. Good, hold it high, arms come up high, circle around, hands find the floor, long runner's lunge. Now the back knee can go down, flatten the foot and open up with that right side. Open through the shoulders, keep it there, keep it there. Let's let in the last person coming in. Oops, holding that rotation. There. Good. All right, I've lost my train of thought where we were. Bring that arm around, the hand finds the floor, we step back into high plank position. There, lengthening through the arms. And then re-lift the hips into downward facing dog. And then both knees can come back down, hips over heels into child's pose. Good. All right, from there, lifting up into box shape, so knees below hips, hands below shoulders. You take the right leg, step it back in line with the left, and then open up through that right arm. So as if you balanced all on the same line. Yeah. Good. All right, so we're going to set up for a side plank here. So you could hold this position. This is one option. You could lengthen that left knee to join the other. We could bring this left arm down onto a forearm and extend this way into a side plank. Any of these options, find your way into a side plank position. Either on the hand, on the forearm, with that supporting knee, without that supporting knee. Shoulders strong, feel that integrity through the shoulders. Nice. Good. All right, whether you're on your forearm or on your knee, or on your hand, sorry, bring that knee back through. Sweep that hand back in, and the knee comes in, back to box shape. All right, same thing on the other side. So all we did, lengthen that left leg in line with the right. Open up through that left arm. There, feel the beginnings of side plank even here. So again, you could keep this position. You could bring it down to the forearm. You can hold it here through this lengthened arm and step out into side plank. So again, feeling that integrity of the shoulders, that shoulder joint supported in place, that ball and socket joint but it's broad through the shoulders. So even though we're supported through the shoulders, try not to compress that joint, but expand through the shoulders. The knee comes back in, the arm sweeps through, refinding box shape. Tuck the toes, lift the hips back to downward facing dog. Nice. Right, taking this back into a stretch, lifting the right foot, send it up into three-legged dog before sweeping it forwards in between the hands and the outside of the leg finds the floor. And we're here into elevated pigeon pose. Right, this really does look like I'm peeping out the window here. Oh no. It's when you catch eyes with somebody doing the same in the flats opposite the road. Right, don't look, don't look. Right, so elevated pigeon pose. Oh, this is going to look worse. I'm going to now duck down low into a low pigeon pose. All right, so finding the position that works well for you. Shuffling as you need to find that stretch through the hip. So tightness is in the hip. Gently breathing into them. Good. And allowing those cycles of breath to help soften any tension. Good, lifting back up if you were lower down. Tucking the toes on the back foot, send it back into high plank. Let's stay in high plank here for a moment, lengthening through the arms. Nice. If you transition to low plank from here, this used to be an exercise we did. So from high plank, down onto the forearms, smoothly into low plank. I think it was from here, then pushing up into high plank. Yes, it was. All right, so staying in plank position if that's helpful for you. Helpful if that's available to you. Or you can pop the knees down, but either way, transitioning back into high plank. Back to low plank. Back to high plank. All right. Take it all the way down onto the floor so the chest comes down. Even lift the hands up here. Place the hands back down. Tuck the toes, think high plank, take a breath in, and then make that happen. High plank. Lift up, downward facing dog. Left foot lifts. Sweep it through, outside of the leg, onto the mat. Lifting up, elevated, high pigeon pose. Feel where you need that stretch, breathe into it. Take it down low into that stretch if that's more helpful. Shuffle that position around if you need to. And bring a few cycles of breath into that stretch, softening tension through the hip. Good, and then bringing that back up, tucking the toes on that back foot, taking it back into high plank position. Alright, this time holding high plank position, can we gecko one side, so maybe your right knee comes up towards right elbow. Stretch that back. Left knee comes up, left elbow. Take that back. Alternatively, right knee, right elbow, but toes can touch down. What do you mean they touched down last time? Step it back. Left knee, left elbow, toes touching down. Step it back. Right knee, right elbow without the toes touching down. Take it back. Left knee, left elbow without the toes touching down. And take it back. Lower the whole body down towards the floor. Lift the hands up, even to the fingertips. Place them back down. Tuck the toes, engage the core. Think high plank, take a breath in. And make it happen. High plank. Lift the hips up into downward facing dog. Good. Alright, from there, the knees come back down, hips over heels, back into child's pose for a moment. And then lifting up and taking the legs forwards into a seated position. All right, team, how are we doing here? Good. All right, lengthened through the legs. Let's bring a little stretch through these hamstrings. So legs lengthened in front, starting out with a simple seated hamstring stretch. So legs are lengthened in front, supporting the hands behind if you need that, allowing the back of the knees to soften down towards the floor. Perhaps walking the heels away from you a little bit, just to bring that length through the leg. So wherever you are, allowing the legs to find that lengthened position. Yeah, and using the support through the hands as you need to, making sure we're not slouching through that lower back or hitching up through the shoulders. All right, so you can hold that position if you like, with that support behind, or you can take a breath in and with that movement coming from the waist to begin with, hinging forwards from the waist, and then gently reaching forwards towards the feet. Perhaps finding the ankles or the toes somewhere around there as a gentle support, so you can pull just a fraction deeper into that stretch, not forced, but just to that point of stretch. And see if you can feel the difference between pulling into that stretch and then releasing into the stretch. That's reaching rather than pulling, folding, untensioning, like on that standing forward fold. Can you release tension here? So we're not straining to stretch, but allowing that stretch to come to you. All right, easing our way back up. Feet come in, press the soles of the feet together into that adductor stretch. So here the back stays up straight and the knees float wide, bringing that stretch into the adductors, sitting up tall. All right, settling the shoulders down. Nice. Good. Right, and then from there, perhaps keeping the right ankle in close, extend again through the left leg into that classic sprinter stretch. And now can we hinge forwards again from the waist? So with one leg tucked in and then the left leg extended, hinging forwards from the waist. Can you bring yourself back to a point of stretch? And again, gently approaching this. Maybe you feel more of the stretch through the back. Maybe there's stretching through the lower back. And if that's the case, then bring some breath to that part of the body. See if you can release tensions through bringing the cycle of your breath into those parts. And when I do the stretch, I can feel the tension in the hamstrings all the time. I can bring that stretch and focus if I wanted to through the back of the leg. I think I feel this more kind of through the torso, the angling of the body, a gentle hinging forwards and a roundedness through the torso. I'm just trying to keep the back fairly straight. But yeah, the stretch for me is more through the torso than through the leg. So aware of where you feel the stretch. Alright, bringing that back up, tuck that foot back in, soles of the feet pressed together. And then re-lengthen the right leg. Finding that seated alignment. You bring some height to that posture before hinging forwards. So again, I feel that stretch through the torso. I can also feel muscles that are switched on through the back. They're almost complaining because they're working here. Complaining muscles because they're working. I'm having to put some effort in to maintain that integrity through the torso So aware of the efforts that you need to put in, body parts that are working hard. And probably the more tight the hamstrings are, the harder that back has to work. Alright, bring that back up, re-lengthen the legs. Right, let's roll it back over into box shape. And now loosening up through the length of the back, we're going to that cat-cow combination. So perhaps allowing the breathing to coordinate the timing, bringing curvature through the length of the spine. Right, so that should be a welcome movement. Detensioning through the back now. So imagine arching that back up like a cat. And then, I've never seen a cow do this, to be honest. I've seen cows do lots of other things like knocking my wing mirrors off my car. Don't really see them stretching that much. Scratching themselves maybe against the fence. Either way, cat, cow. Perhaps bringing your focus of awareness to the pelvis. Tucking one way, tucking the other. Or perhaps to the shoulder area, shoulder blade area. Tracking back, rounding forwards. Alright, take it back to neutral. Alright, good. So hands below shoulders. Step forwards with the left foot. Open out through that hip flexor. Alright, so kneeling here. Left foot forwards, right leg back. Reach up with the right arm. Here we go, through our flow sequence. Breathe. Nice. Alright, so hip flexor stretch. Circle that arm around. The hand finds the floor. Open out through the left. Yeah. Good. Tuck the toes on the back foot. Circle that arm around. Send it forwards. There, good. Left arm finds left knee. Flatten the back foot. Lift up with the right. Yeah. Good. Right hand finds right hip. Left arm. Send it up to the ceiling. Settle the arms to the horizontal into warrior two. Settle down, grounded through the feet. Lovely. Take it forwards, leaning forwards. Left arm, left knee. Reach up, reach over. Extended side angle. Remember, long runner's lunge. Circle that right arm around. The hand finds the floor, transitioning smoothly into that long runner's lunge. All right, you could hold this here. You could open out through the left. You could open out through that left arm even. And now again, recircle that arm, send it forwards. Left hand inside the left foot. Step back into high plank position. Step forwards with the right. Left knee comes down, lift up. Hip flexor stretch. There, reaching up with the left arm. Did we get that? So left foot back, right foot forwards. Left arm reaches. Nice. Circle that hand around. The hand finds the floor. We open up with the right. Kneeling rotation. Tuck the toes on the back foot. Circle that arm around as it comes through. Lift that back knee. Extended right arm. Right arm finds right knee. Flatten the back foot. Lift up with the left. Open. Left hand, left hip. Send the right arm up high. Reach. Beautiful. Good. Down to the horizontal. Warrior two. Settle the shoulders. Grounded again through the feet. Leaning neither forwards nor back. Now send it forwards. Right arm, right knee. Reach up, reach over. There. Circle the hand around. Find the floor. Long runner's lunge. Find that alignment, corkscrew that arm, open up with the right. Circle it around, send it forwards. Right hand inside right foot, step back, high plank. Last time, lift up, downward facing dog. Breathe here for a moment. Good. And then remembering that halfway lift position from the sun salutation. Step forwards towards the hands. Into that halfway lift before refolding down towards the toes and then rebuilding all the way up high and circle around. Lovely. Shrug out those shoulders, let go of any tensions still in the body and then settle down and relax. Oh, brilliant team. Okay, it's not an easy class, but hopefully a restorative class. And I hope that set you up for your weekend. I'll tell you now, Monday, evening class, 6 p.m. Monday, unless you hear otherwise. So just keep an eye on your emails. I'm flying back Monday morning, so I'll see you back in Monday 6 p.m. Anyway, that's on the other side of the weekend. Have a good one, team. Thank you for doing the classes this week, and I'll see you on the other side. All right. Bye, team.